Can the Bosch Performance CX motor claim the fastest time on the notorious 104 power stage? We're about to find out. The 104 power stage is an extremely technical climb that really explores the limits of just what is possible on an e-bike. Slick limestone outcrops and steep route sections make it the ultimate test for rider and bike. He's totally it. Against such a challenging backdrop, we set out to discover how each of the key e-bike motors can cope with such a climb, and in doing so explore their character, functions, and of course performance. And just in case you might be wondering about the relevance of the number 104, well, 1 minute and 4 seconds is the fastest time recorded so far by a rider on an e-bike on this particular hill, and the time we're trying to beat by way of using a variety of all the main motor brands. The fourth generation of the Bosch Performance CX motor is burly, that's for sure, and a motor that really relishes challenges such as this. Its punchy 85 Nm is delivered smoothly until that moment when push comes to shove and you simply dance on the pedal and it surges you up and over the trickiest of sections. The new motor gives you an even wider range of support and is said to be more sensitive in low gears than the older version. You also now get an extended boost, which is an innovative new feature. What it does is allow you to apply pedal pressure to get a kick to conquer difficult steps in the terrain. Bosch says the pedals rarely, if ever, jam. It's finely tuned and full of features, no more so than Bosch's eMTB mode, which is a unique feature that modulates naturally and dynamically between tour mode and turbo mode. It adjusts the amount of support depending on the different scenario. For example, when you go from, say, a forest road to a technical single track. In other words, it's an automatic mode to help you focus on the trail. But what about that torque? What does more torque give you? Well, it simply gives you more torque. A better question is, what does more torque enable you to do if it's dialed in efficiently? Well, Bosch say of the new Generation 4 motor that it accelerates quicker, is easier to start off on steep climbs, and can conquer challenging terrain more effectively. With a maximum power output of 600 watts, it puts it firmly in there as one of the strongest motors on paper. And indeed, we have taken this motor on a variety of bikes into some pretty nasty environments, and it has come out singing. The question, as ever though, is more than just the motor. How does the package work? And in this instance, the high bike is running a good few kilos heavier than the Levo, which put in such a strong time. I think there's two lines emerging here, Josh. Let's check it out. Now, up till now, I've been using the lower line because it sets you up nicely for the punchy sort of next section. But I'm looking at this inside line here, which, although, yeah, it puts you into a bit of a hook, which might, if you don't want to get your wheel caught into there, but definitely worth a go, I think. Conditions today, it's been an amazing couple of weeks here on the hill. Still dry and dusty. Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying dusty, but limestone rocks haven't gone anywhere. I'm still as scared as ever about going up this bloody hill. I don't know whose idea it was, but it's scary, the physical effort. But yeah, line choice, ground conditions are great. Yeah, it's definitely faster to this point, but it's definitely a hook in here. Maybe you've got more momentum if you do the sort of flowy line. I don't know. I think maybe put a couple of times in to see what's faster. Yeah, it gives you more drive. Definitely gives you more drive into the change of slope there. But I think I'll try both approaches.
So the new Bosch Gen 4, as a punchier motor, it's got 85 Nm instead of the 75. Now, The belief is that those 85 newton meters is just when you kick it really hard. So it's normally sort of 75 newton meters. You're coming up a climb, you're coming up to a log, you want to get that front wheel over, kick it hard, it'll give you that extra boost, and it'll not only just give you the boost, but it also overruns. So you can ease off a bit and then it'll actually carry on over the log. If you're getting tired, that overrun really does help you, because you can ease off a little bit, recover a little bit, and it'll just get you over that last little obstacle, so you can carry on up the climb with a little bit less power than you need. Crank link definitely plays a part, because it's the force you're putting, the power you're putting in is in newton meters. The newtons is your weight, your amount of pressure you can apply to the pedal, and the meters is the length of your crank. That's what's crucial. If you go for a shorter crank, it can sometimes feel like you're riding a kid's bike. Okay, but you get nice ground clearance. You go for a longer crank, you can get more power in easier, but the problem is you've got the possibility of pedal strikes the whole time. The Bosch should be a little bit more than the Bros, I would think, and I think you'll probably find the climbing ability with the Bosch is going to be a bit superior to the Bros, in my opinion.
So I did a couple of runs on the Bosch. I did it one in turbo and then one in eMTB mode. Now, in both modes, I can feel that I'm definitely having to put quite a bit of effort in the lower part of the slope compared to some other motors which I've ridden on the hill, which means I'm actually really quite tired when I'm getting further up the hill. I don't know why that is, but I've just put a couple of times in. They're pretty reasonable times, but definitely some work to do as the Chinooks come in. Today we'll be riding the High Bike All Mountain 5 that features 160mm travel, a 29-27.5 wheel mix, and of course that Bosch 4th generation motor which has been updated to 85 Nm. With a 625 watt-hour battery, we'll not be lacking power, that's for sure, on these multiple attempts. Air suspension front and rear, a Mavic wheel set, and as ever the mighty Maxxis Minion DHR tyre combination with 28 psi up front and 26 on the rear. So 85 Nm in the Bosch. I'm wondering how much... So what I was saying was, I wonder how much bike weight plays a part. So this is now my 5th attempt at this particular section. This is just a section. Oh, I got it. Honestly, such a fine margin there to getting it right and getting it wrong. But I was going to say was, I wonder how much bike weight comes into this climbing challenge. The High Bike All Mountain is possibly one of the heavier bikes on our 104 power stage, but again, to get the full effect, it would be good to have the Bosch Performance CX 4th gen and a few other bikes as well, just to get a broader picture. But nevertheless, that is what we got today, and this is going to be the time which we're going to put in once I've conquered that. And remember, I've got to conquer that on a full run, not just on a section. Here we go then, 1 minute of hell. Now, if any of your mates think that e-mountain bikes make you unfit, bring them down here. We'll show them a thing or two, that's for sure. Come in, Josh. Okay, breathe. Yeah, I mean, I tried, I gave it everything. Many attempts, but yeah, 108. It's not good enough, I guess. Pretty gutted, nothing to say really. I thought I'd have cracked it on the 85 Newton meter Bosch. Maybe there's other factors coming into play here. Got my line right. Jesus, sounds like a fairy. Jesus sounds like a right old sob story, doesn't it? Anyhow, we'll be back for the 104 power stage for a fresh bike, fresh challenge.